Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, a recap of day number 5 of the Mageblood project. And yeah, today was actually better than yesterday and better than 2 days ago because today we actually made bank. Not too much, still not having those lucky drops. I think, like, seriously, with my luck lately, when it comes to this league, right? From like the gambling parts, the volleying parts, the like bossing parts and stuff, like it sucks totally, man. It really does. But I have a theory, man. I think that my RNG is just stacking up, all this bad luck. It's always like up and downs in like everything in life. So it has to be. If you start like really bad, then normal streamers or players, they get like the upside, the downside. The upside, for me, it's just like a sinking ship. So I guess at some point, there's gonna be mirror drop. There is, like, to be honest, either I drop a Headhunter, a Mageblood belt, a mirror, or anything that's like, it has to be, man. But hey, other than that, what is today's outcome? Today was day number 5. We went for like 11 and a half hours session. And we actually did not bad today. We went up for 27 exalts today. The exalt price stayed stable for now. So we are currently looking at 113 exalts, roundabout value that I have in my stash. 71 I have flat now, like 1,000 chaos. That's probably like 8 exalts or something like that too, right? So we are, I would say, like chaos exalt, maybe some divines snacked in together. We look at dude. Dude, I should stop recording videos right after I stop streaming because my brain is still like in the matrix, more or less, right? Anyway, so I would say like somewhere around 80x with a little bit of stuff here together, and the rest of the probably 30x that is missing here is somewhere in my fragments, in my scarabs, in my essences, in my divination tab, in my blight fossils, like map prep. There's still like some scourge maps. I mean, maps are not even counted in, right? There is not too much in my quota because I cleaned it up once, so this is like the remaining parts, more or less. So what did change from yesterday to today? Why the hell did I actually make like twice amount currency today while not dropping anything special? Which is not true entirely because I had one exalt drop today and I actually found an inspired learning. So the inspired learning from the ritual is still somewhere out there in the ritual, but I actually found one that sold for 3 exalts. Then I had the exalt drop, which was a nice boost, but I had quite some sales out of my dump tabs actually. And I also started to sell maps in bulk. And with that is like, as you see, I have 0 tier 50 maps right now. And I have 14 tier 16 maps. I left like 1 each map just to get the Atlas completion. Or at least the bonus here. Because this is the next thing that I'm going to passively farm up. I actually did take my time today and upgraded all my Pantheons. The way this works, if you're wondering, if you're never used to that, because a lot of people just don't know this is actually a thing, right? So I'm just going to quickly explain it. Pantheons got powered up this league. It even gives you Cannot Be Frozen, for example, on the Soul of the Brine King, and many other really cool perks that you can get. The way you do this is you're just gonna type in here the just Pantheon, and it will line up all 20 maps that have the boss, right? Or at least have a boss that is a Pantheon, more or less, like Ugol or Brine King on the Reef map and so on. So basically what you would do is you just take the Armory map, for example, right? If I have it, let's assume this is now an Armory map, or let's just take any other map. So you have a boss. I think Relic Chamber might actually be one of those, I'm not sure. But what you do is you're gonna take those Divine Vessels. And what it does is it actually empowers the boss a little bit. But don't worry, you can run this in any map difficulty. It doesn't have to be high tier map. You can even run the map like this, white, doesn't matter. And then once you kill the boss, you're gonna have a filled vessel. And these are items that you cannot even stash. But then you're just gonna go in Act 9, for example, anywhere where Sin is. So I usually go in Act 10 or Act 9, doesn't matter. And then you're just gonna talk to Sin, and he will actually unlock you the Pantheon power, right? Depending on what you have done for the boss, right? And then basically it says like here that all the lines are now lighted up and not like grayed out like it is in the start. You just have the first basic line, right? So this is very nice to have, especially now since these Pantheons are empowered, and since my build, for example, is not stun immune. I'm using Soul of the Brine King for cannot be stunned if you have been stunned or blocked by a stunning hit in the past 2 seconds, so you cannot get stun locked with that, right? And there is many other cool perks that you can get there. You should definitely check this one out after they buffed it. Good. So I've was doing all my Pantheons, these 20 maps. Then I started to collect more and more of the watchstones, because some watchstones, I think it's Galena Cairns, the platinum one. Let me actually quickly check that so I'm not lying here. If you have a platinum, what, Galena Cairns something. Platinum Galena Cairns watchstone, they're selling for, wait, these are the unique ones. Non-unique. So they are selling for 45, 50k or something like that. So it's also nice if you're just mapping like I do, where it doesn't really matter, it's just all can go basically, right? I don't really care which layout or anything specific, but as soon as you get all your 10 bosses done, right, you're gonna get those invitations, and then you can do them. You can just run them white. This is what I do, for example. I just scour them off, because you will always get one of the watchstones. It's either like the platinum one or chromium one or something like that. But if you're lucky, they can sell for quite a lot. There is watchstones that sell for multiple exalts if you get the right combination. This is also some nice side currency if you don't really care what kind of maps you're running. So I've did that a little bit, sold off a couple of watchstones, and I also, like, as I said, sold off a bunch of maps. It was like 7 or 8 exalts that I made extra by selling maps, plus the stuff that I have sold over the course of the day from like the dump tabs and stuff like that. So overall, I would say that's the reason why I actually made like twice as much currency as yesterday. But still there is tabs that I haven't touched yet. For example, divination cards. I don't know, like, I just throw all the divination cards in there. There might definitely be some divination cards that are valuable. Then fragments, scarabs, I haven't touched at all. I think I only sold like polished blight scarabs, so just the scarabs here could be a couple of exalts worth, maybe. Breaches, I started selling a couple of those fragments, but for example, essences, I haven't touched yet. Fragments, I'm stacking those up since I'm starting to do delve, right? Blight oils I have never sold. I mean, that's probably not going to be too much of a currency, right? But I'm just saying, like, everything stacks up, and I sold like 2 days ago, I sold like over 3,500 jeweler orbs. I'm back to 1,500. So, as I said, it's just nothing special what I'm doing here. It's just basically grinding, and you're just gonna make the currency out of it. And as I said, at the moment, we are sitting at 113 exalts. Let me pull up the Mageblood. It was 160x, but I said, like, don't worry, guys, it's gonna drop again. And apparently, it does not. Mageblood belt currently goes for 190 exalts, and I'm kind of a little bit scared that this will not stop. But hey, the thing is, like, remember when Mageblood was 130 exalts, like 2 or 3 days ago? If I'm like seeing the 113x plus the gear that I'm wearing, that is definitely worth like 20, 30, 40 exalts. I have no idea. I haven't checked. I paid like a 20 exalts for the entire thing. But hey, might get things, things get more expensive over time, right? So I might make like 30 or 40x even out of that. I would actually be able to almost afford it by now. But now seeing Mageblood belt at 190x means, like, dude, I'm still 80x short. But I was 80x short like 2 or 3 days. So at the moment, I'm farming currency, but the Mageblood belt rises as well, right? So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but, you know, what is in 2 days? You know, the Mageblood belt actually goes up by like 30, 40x every day, up and down. Like, it depends. Like, I don't know if it has to be full moon that they go down again in price, or some other things. In the worst case scenario, it's going even more expensive, and I'm actually kind of wondering, what is a mirror going for? A mirror of Kalandra is currently going for 125x or something, right? So we're soon at like over like 1.6 mirrors or something for this stupid belt, and I don't even know if it's gonna be good or not. But hey, I think I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. It seems that I'm making at least some kind of currency. So if I would continue getting like 20, 25 exalts, if I don't invest into my character, if I don't invest into any gambles or something, if I just focus farming, you know, then I might be actually able to get it maybe in the next 2 days. You know, plus 50x would be 160. If they drop a little bit, I could just snack it out and go for it, right? So I still like should consider starting to sell things now, because you know it doesn't bring me anything if Excellence says, yo, you have like 205 exalts roundabout and I have only 100x, and 100x in like all forms of currency, right? So I definitely should start to convert currency, and then getting closer and closer, and maybe when I'm like 20x off, I could start selling my build, leveling up a new character, and wait while I'm like leveling, selling off stuff, and then I could just buy it, and then we're gonna see where the journey will be at that point, right? Good. I still want to talk a couple minutes about the Scourge League and upcoming projects, because I mean, this is the first project. The Mageblood project, it is a big project. Like, not gonna lie, I've never done something like that. Like, especially since I'm still playing like my League Starter build, right? Farming up like, hey, maybe like 200x for a stupid new belt, right? I mean, the belt is gonna be insane. I'm just scared that the build itself will not do too much, right? I still like, if you have a shit build and equip Mageblood, it's still gonna be a shit build. It's gonna be a little bit better than shit, but it's still gonna be shit. Similar to the way that I think about Headhunter. If you have Gold Rim, a Tabula, and a Headhunter, your build will still suck. Even though you spend 150x for a Headhunter, for example, right? Then you're running a 150x build, but if the build doesn't provide anything good, if it doesn't have clear speed, if it's not leveled up and crafted and geared up well, then Headhunter will not do a lot. And I think it's gonna be the same with Mageblood, so I guess we're just gonna League start over again once I have the build. But hey, we're gonna see about that. But there's definitely a lot of projects that I'm kind of interested in, and I would almost assume, depending if I get the Mageblood and we just think about that I made a build with it, that's kind of cheap in this case, right? If I spend a 180x for a Mageblood belt and then like have 10x left over, so I have a 10x to spend on an entire build, it's not gonna save the world, basically, right? But it would be cool, or I definitely see myself in the future doing like a Simulacrum project. If I'm able to make a character that can do wave 30, I'm definitely down for going another like 60 Simulacrums project, where I just see, you know, I think they go like for 1 Exalted piece. I don't know if I have one stashed over here. No, close to. But I'm just saying, 60 Simulacrums definitely gonna be cool. Maybe at some point these unrelenting timeless farms, maybe at some point, right? What about the other Uber content? What about the Blight Ravaged map? There's like so much more endgame content to do right now, and I'm like kind of feeling hyped about doing project with those, right? It's not like, yo, we just have another league, another like league mechanic, and the endgame will still be the same. And if I think about doing like tier 10 scourged maps and 100% delirious just for fun, you know, just crash the server more or less, or crash my instance just because there is so many monsters. And especially for me as a build creator, it's going to be incredible hard to make builds that are having insane speed, insane clear, being super tanky, and be able to run certain amount of contents that usual builds cannot do, right? So I'm definitely hyped for it, but these are all things for the future, more or less. At the moment, all I see is I need to make currency, I need this belt, and we are like, at the moment, like 50, 60 exalts short. But hey, we're way over the halfway mark with the 112 exalts that I currently have roundabout. So unless the Mageblood belt raises up by another 50x, I think there is a light at the end of the tunnel, especially if the Mageblood belt drops again and I could sell off my gear, for example. It could happen every day, right? And I'm still waiting for the big drops that could potentially bring a lot more currency to the table. And yeah, I think I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and I think I'm just going to keep you guys updated with the way that I do it right now, if you guys enjoy this kind of video. Make sure to like the video if you like it. And one thing I want to quickly note is, before I'm selling off the build, I'm going to make an entire build guide around this character, because I'm really having a blast. I really enjoy the character. I think for the investment that I have, like 20x or something like that, this character outperforms what I expected. It's tanky, it's fast, it's doing bosses super well. I'm doing Cyrus carries with it. Like, for now, for what the build does, for what it costs, like cost efficiency wise, this build has been an absolute blast. So I can definitely recommend playing something like this. And that's why I decided to also make like an entire build guide around this, just to go into the special facts and what are the gearing upgrades and whatnot if somebody has more currency than I do. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.